This video is an overview of the TON cryptocurrency. TON is a blockchain that's closely affiliated with Telegram, the messaging and social media application, and over the past year it has skyrocketed to be one of the largest cryptocurrencies, both by market cap and by usage. In today's video, I'm going to unpack the history behind TON, its recent growth, as well as how to use TON in some leading financial and gaming applications built on this blockchain. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick. As a reminder, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is purely intended to be educational. Now let's get into it. Before I get into the video itself, I want to note that the content in this video is actually based on a deep dive I did in my premium newsletter. This goes through everything you need to know about the TON ecosystem. If you want to learn more about TON as well as see similar deep dives for other tokens, be sure to check it out in the description. All right, so now let's talk about TON coin. And TON, also known as the Open Network, was originally called the Telegram Open Network, and it was launched in 2019 by Telegram. And Telegram, most of you are probably familiar with because it's one of the most used applications in the world. But in case you're not, it's an application for messaging on your phone, also for group chats, for channels where someone can distribute news and other information and more. There's also lots of mini apps built within Telegram. And long time, Telegram has had an emphasis on security, privacy, etc., as well as being uncensorable. And so it's not a surprise then that they jumped into crypto in 2019. And they did so with the Telegram Open Network. They did one of the largest token ICOs of all time. And unfortunately, in May 2020, the SEC came down on it and prohibited them from issuing grams. That's what the token was called at the time. And Telegram basically had to give everyone their money back and divest themselves from the project. However, that was not the end of the story for TON, because a group of developers from the community picked up the project. It was rebranded from the Telegram Open Network to just the Open Network, keeping the TON acronym. And eventually they were able to bring it to mainnet in 2021. And it's been active since then, and it's developed a vibrant app ecosystem. And not only that, but Telegram has also been actively supporting TON again. For one thing, a couple months ago, Telegram announced that they would start giving payments to certain channel creators on Telegram. Again, a channel on Telegram is like a news channel of one person publishing information to many people. And they're using TON as the payment rails for those ad payments. So people who might not care or want or need anything to do with cryptocurrency are now going to be using TON for payments. Additionally, just a couple weeks ago, Telegram launched a TON-linked stars currency. And this is basically an in-app currency for people that build mini apps on Telegram, and it runs, you guessed it, on the TON blockchain. And this is pretty significant because Telegram is one of the most used applications in the world. As of April 2024, it had around 900 million users. For reference, that's more than Snapchat, just below Facebook Messenger, and places it in the top 10 applications worldwide in terms of users. In terms of messaging applications, it's actually the fourth most used messaging application, just behind Facebook Messenger. And if you think about that as a distribution platform, right, and the fact that Telegram is already, over the past few months, integrating TON into two different features of their application, that is nearly 1 billion people that I think there's a good chance will end up being exposed to TON in some way. And the reason I say there's a good chance is that it seems as though Telegram is basically making TON the de facto payment rails for things that happen within their application. And not only that, but Telegram is still growing as an app. And this has started to attract the attention of many other people as well. Recently, Pantera, one of the most well-known investment funds in the cryptocurrency space, invested a large amount into TON. And so this is going to be more money to help develop that ecosystem, build out a vibrant set of apps that can work on TON. And the other thing I would note about TON and Telegram is that, as you'll notice today when I go through the apps, many of the applications that are built on here, they actually run as apps within Telegram. So I think that's a pretty powerful distribution mechanism that sets Ton apart because most crypto apps are desktop first. However, at this point, most internet usage happens on people's phones. So the fact that these Ton apps are basically being built towards being used within a mobile app that people probably already have on their phones, I think is pretty bullish. And this is reflected in the on-chain stats for Ton. If you look at the usage of financial DeFi applications, then deposits have grown since the start of 2024 from around $70 million to $980 million today. And I know what some people are thinking is that the price of Ton has gone up, and it has. However, if you look at this in terms of Ton, it's gone from around 31 million Ton deposited to around 140 million deposited today. So it's going up both in terms of USD and in terms of Ton. And if you go back further to 2023, it's an even more extreme difference, right? The ecosystem barely existed back then. Similarly, if you look at daily active addresses, Ton is regularly commanding hundreds of thousands of daily active addresses with millions of transactions. A few things to note with these numbers. First off, daily active addresses. These are definitely inflated in some part by people farming airdrops on Ton. There's some really good potential airdrops that we'll talk about in a minute. Second, the transactions, millions a day, is great. That shows that people are actually doing things on the network. However, a lot of those are probably microtransactions, right? People are playing some sort of game and they might be making 10 or 20 transactions a day. And now that we've talked about what Ton is, let's look at how you can actually start using it yourself. First thing you'll need is a wallet that is compatible with Ton. And this page on the Ton website has a list of a bunch of wallets that work. The most common is the Telegram wallet. However, unfortunately, if you're in the United States or other countries, you will not be able to use it. It actually didn't even work with a VPN for me, but maybe you can find a VPN that works. What I ended up using was Tonkeeper. Tonkeeper is a web wallet, so it looks and feels similar to MetaMask or Phantom. However, it's built for Ton. And honestly, I found it to be a very solid wallet. It had all the features that I was looking for. Note that you will not be able to use whatever wallet you probably use on another chain like MetaMask, Rabby, or Phantom. Those are not going to work for Ton. Once you have a Ton wallet, you're going to need to get some Ton tokens in it. To pay for gas on the network, you need Ton tokens. And unfortunately, there's also not a ton of options for that. If you go to the markets on CoinGecko, you can see that Gate.io, OKX, others do have it. However, what I ultimately found was the easiest way to get it was to use RocketX. RocketX it's basically like an on-chain exchange because it taps into the liquidity of centralized exchanges. However, you can do it directly through your crypto wallet. So you can go from Solana, you can go from Ethereum, you can go from other networks, and you can go directly to Ton on here. And so that was the best way I found to actually get Ton, and make sure as you're bringing funds over, you convert them to Ton. That way you actually have something to pay transaction fees. And once you're on the network, there's a number of good DeFi applications that you can use. And I would say at this point, basically all of the core primitives are on Ton. First off, there's liquid staking. So if you're just holding Ton and you want to earn some yield, you can earn about 3% yield by liquid staking it. The two leading liquid staking platforms right now are Ton Stakers and BMO. Both of these are pretty good. If you look at the comparison in their total value locked, Ton Stakers is quite a bit bigger. However, BMO also has over $70 million deposited. BMO, I will say, has the benefit of having an on-chain points program. And they've already confirmed that STXP holders will receive 15% of the total BMO supply, and they're going to get that once total value locked hits 30 million Ton, and it's about a third of the way there right now. So BMO is a great option if you just want to farm a simple airdrop and earn about 3% yield on your Ton. If you want to take things to the next level, then another application you can use is EVA. EVA is the leading lending market on Ton right now. And what you can do on here is you can take your liquid staked Ton from either Ton Stakers or from BMO, and you can deposit it on EVA to earn a modest amount of APY, right? It's relatively small. However, you are also going to earn points towards EVA. So you're going to be mining EVA XP and also hopefully qualifying for either a Ton Stakers airdrop or qualifying for this BMO airdrop. Another likely airdrop on Ton that has a ton of potential is Storm Trade. Storm Trade is the leading perp dex on Ton right now. Basically, you can trade crypto with leverage, and a couple cool things about it. First off, perp dexes are traditionally one of the best money makers in DeFi, and so Storm, if Ton gains traction and Storm ends up being the major perp dex, is likely to be a money maker. Second off, they have an ongoing points program. If you look here at their pre-TGE rewards mining, then they are saying outright that those reward points will be exchanged for Storm Trade tokens. And there's three main ways you can earn points on Storm. First is you open your first position, you get 10 RPs. Second off, every time you open a position with more than 100 USD, you get 1 per every 100 USD. And third, if you deposit liquidity into the Storm Trade vaults, then you get 1 point per 100 USD daily. And these are the vaults here. You can deposit either stablecoins or Ton. The Ton is actually a decent yield compared to liquid staking. It's almost 9%. However, the yield on this really stands out with this JUSDT. That's a form of bridged tether, and currently you're earning about 38% APY on it. And the reason I would note that the APY is so high is because this is relatively risky. If you look at the total deposits, it's just under 20 million, which makes this a relatively small DeFi application, even for a network like Ton. And so it's definitely not without risk. However, if you deposit some risk on money there, then you already know that you are qualifying for the future Storm Trade airdrop. And then there's two final DeFi applications on Ton that I want to share. The first is DDust, which is currently the largest DeFi application period on Ton. And the second is StonFi. And StonFi was for a long time the largest. However, currently it's somewhat smaller than DDust. And these are mostly interesting, first off, to swap tokens, right? If you want to trade your Ton for USDT or vice versa, you can do so on here. Second off, you can earn yield on these. So for example, on ston.fi, you can deposit Ton USDT and you can earn 79% from their token rewards. With DDust, equivalently, you can earn 82% with Ton USDT, so pretty much the same. And then there's a lot of other tokens on here that you can earn even higher rewards on. One thing I would note, because people who are new, even sometimes experienced people always make this mistake, don't buy a token just because you see it's got like 500% yield on here. If you don't know what the token does, right, because those rewards might be coming from inflation, or the value of the token could crash 90% and then the rewards don't matter. So just understand what you're buying and buy something because you actually believe the price is going to go up. However, if you are, for example, already buying Ton, you can get a pretty good yield by pairing it with USDT here. Note also that these are liquidity pools, so you'll have to swap half of your tokens for the other pair in the pool. But that is DDust and StonFi. In addition to DeFi, there are also some games on Ton that are starting to gain some serious traction. First up, we have Notcoin. Notcoin is kind of an interesting one because you basically farm it by clicking. And it's perhaps surprising to some, gained a lot of traction. It has over 11 million holders and is currently a top 100 cryptocurrency. And this actually is a distinguishing feature of Ton, that it's one of a few blockchains only that have 2 tokens in the top 100 tokens by market cap. So that is Notcoin. Not going to go into too much more detail. However, just know that this one has a lot of usage. Another one that has a ton of usage is Hamster Combat. This game exists directly within Telegram, and you can actually set it up without needing to create a Ton wallet. You can just start using it within the app itself, and basically you get this hamster and you click on it to gain points. You do other things to gain points, and then it's kind of like that game Cookie Clicker, if you ever played that back in the day. And so you click on the hamster, you gain points, you upgrade the hamster, you do quests and so on. I'll say I tried this out and it was actually pretty addicting. They say on their Twitter, they claim they have 100 million users, which is, as they note, 1.2% of the world's population. I'm going to say here, no disrespect, don't send your goons after me, Hamster Combat. I don't really think 1.2% of the world's population is playing this game. I suspect that there's a lot of people who are using multiple accounts because they're trying to farm this thing by clicking, and they've got like 100 accounts set up with bots or whatnot, a bunch of windows open to do this. That being said, I totally believe they have millions of users. And like I said, the game is addicting. It kind of reminds me of Cookie Clicker from back in the day, and it's a good example of the sort of thing that can be built when you have a Telegram native app that also can integrate blockchain. Another interesting application being built on this is Fancy Labs. This is a prediction market built on Telegram. I've mentioned before that I think prediction markets are one of the best product market fits for crypto right now. Anyone who's been involved in prediction markets in the past for speculating on election outcomes, for example, knows that they often struggle with payment rails. Getting your money out can be a massive pain. So this is an industry that can be improved by crypto today. And if you look at the stats on prediction markets overall, it's one of the fastest growing verticals in crypto in percent terms. So I think it's interesting to see that there's prediction markets being built on Ton now as well. And they actually brand it as being built on Telegram. So you'll be able to make predictions directly through the messaging app. Now let's talk about the tokenomics of Ton. The market cap as of the time making this video is currently $17.5 billion with a fully diluted valuation of $36.4 billion. That places it as the number 10 cryptocurrency by market cap, and several of the ones above it are stablecoins. So it's really one of the largest cryptocurrencies by market cap at this point, just below Dogecoin. I'd also note that the fully diluted valuation is relatively high compared to the market cap. Usually I like to see a market cap that is at least 50% of fully diluted valuation. However, there are exceptions, of course, and a lot of it depends on the time frame that you're planning to hold the token for, as well as their unlock schedule. And like we saw with liquid staking, their inflationary schedule for stakers is actually relatively low. So I don't consider it to be uninvestable because of the market cap compared to FDV. However, I do think that the upside is going to be more limited than many other tokens because it already has over a $17 billion market cap. As far as the use of the token itself, like I noted before, Ton is used to pay for gas fees on the network. Additionally, there is also a burn mechanism where fees used for the network, some percentage of them are actually burnt, and over the past month, they've averaged about 6,300, 6,400 Ton coin burnt per day. And note, that's less than inflation, so it is inflationary. It's been averaging about 54,000 minted per day. But as network activity ramps up, that burn will hopefully increase as well. Reminder that if you want to learn more about Ton, want to dive in deeper, I did this whole deep dive about it on my Substack, open to paid subscribers. And for more videos like this one, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.